A logo, ACB in print and braille, American Council of the Blind, together for a bright future. 63rd Annual National Conference and Convention. General Session, Wednesday, July 10th, 2024. Deb Cook-Lewis stands at the podium.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Wednesday. My calendar says we're at Wednesday, so we must be. I have no idea. Welcome to Wednesday. We have a very full agenda again today. So thank you for being here and for being on time. We're going to begin this morning with our Pledge of Allegiance, which will be provided to us or led with us with our affiliate that's had a name change. So veterans of ACB will be leading our pledge. Following them, we're going to have singing. It says in our program that it's America the Beautiful, but it's God Bless America. So we've had a change on that with Lucy Arguijo from St. Augustine, Florida. So let's first of all stand tight here for our veterans to come and lead our pledge.
Good morning, everybody. Get closer. Can you hand me the mic? There's not a flag.
There's the flag right here. There's the flag right here. Just right in front of you. Wait a minute. Do you want me to put it up so you can see it?
All right, everybody. The flag is going to be at the center front of the room. So if you guys want to face forward and salute or put your hand over your heart as you would like to. All right. So good morning, everybody. So, all right. I'm President Cassie Trosper, and here we go. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
That was very special from our veterans and from Lucy. Thank you so much. Oh, wow. All right, let's move along. We have our ACB corporate sponsors.
The American Council of the Blind would like to thank our 2024 Conference and Convention corporate sponsors. Their continued support is sincerely appreciated. Diamond, $25,000. JP Morgan Chase, Meta, Microsoft, Sony Corporation of America, Vanda Pharmaceuticals, Inc., Vispero, Emerald, $15,000. Amazon, Johnson & Johnson Health Systems, MGM, Verizon, Waymo, Ruby, $10,000. CVS Health, Google, Humanware, Spectrum Charter, Onyx, $5,000. Accessibility Officer, IRA, American Printing House, Cruise, LLC, Guiding Eyes, Jacksonville Transportation Authority, JTA, Uber Technologies, United Airlines, Zoox, Coral, $2,000. ACB Families, ACB Lions, Bosma Enterprises, Dr. Gerard Boucher, Democracy Live, Enhanced Voting, Library Users of America, National Industries for the Blind, NIB, Penny Forward, Userve, Pearl, $1,000. Anonymous, Perkins School for the Blind, Walk Sponsor, Macular Degeneration, Auction in-kind donations, Humanware.
All right. We are very appreciative of all of our sponsors and such a variety of individuals and organizations at the corporate level. All right. We now have a diamond sponsor presentation from Vispero. And to present that for us, we have Ryan Jones, who is the Vice President of Software and Product Management. Thank you for being with us this morning, Ryan.
Good morning, ACB. I'll have to hold the microphone. I'm a little bit taller there. There, I think I've got it a little bit higher there. All right, I'll just hold it. It'll be easier. I hope everyone had your coffee this morning and are ready for a great day at ACB and all the different activities that will be going on. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. Again, my name is Ryan Jones. I'm the Vice President of Software at Vispero / Freedom Scientific / We Make JAWS is the main thing, and Zoom Text, and obviously a variety of assistive technology products. So I'm happy to be here with you all today. I just want to share some of my thoughts around the landscape and things that are unfolding around us that I think are valuable for us to keep in context. I was honored to speak last year at convention when we were in Schaumburg, and at that time I talked about the winds of change, and I shared with all of us about the change that we all felt was coming, and that change, part of it is here, and part of it is still in front of us. And so, have you ever been outside before a thunderstorm or a cold front or some other weather phenomenon where there's wind blowing? And you start to hear the wind in the trees, right? You kind of hear it coming off in the distance. You hear this low kind of roar sound of the wind blowing in the trees. There's this little sense of anticipation, maybe a little tingle in the back of your neck. How much wind is there going to be? How strong is the wind? You can kind of gauge it by the trees, by the sound as it's coming. As it gets closer to you, you start to hear the leaves skidding across the ground. You start to hear the tree branches near you sway. And you start to get a sense of that wind and what it will be like and how strong it will be. And that's where we were last year. We were just starting to get that little tingle on the back of our neck of what some of this change might be. And I think you all know the change I'm talking about. This is around the AI technology and the doors that it's opening for us. But, as the wind gets closer, maybe you start to hear some tree branches crack, right? Depending on how strong the wind is. And you're hoping, boy, I hope I'm not under one of those tree branches that cracks. And as that wind gets stronger, maybe a garbage can or two falls over and rolls down the street. Maybe a piece of lawn furniture, a plastic lawn chair tips over, and you're hoping I'm not in the lawn chair when it tips over. But you can't see the wind, but you feel the effects of the wind, don't you? And other things that are subject to the wind often are fences. And there's a particular fence that stood in front of us for many, many years. And that fence separated us from a world that we could not really grasp in a lot of ways. There were cracks in the fence, there were holes between the boards, and we could kind of see what was on the other side of that fence, but we couldn't fully access it. And that fence separated us as blind and low vision people. It separated us between a world of graphical information, a world of pictures, a world of charts, a world of diagrams, a world of graphic presentations. We could kind of touch it, we could get some access to it, but we missed a lot of what was there. And that fence has fallen now, thanks to the winds of change that AI has broken for us. Yeah, we should clap for that, absolutely. The fence has fallen down, and we started to see this a while back in the physical world around us with companies like Be My Eyes and Ira and Envision, who are helping make the physical world more accessible and starting to introduce this technology for our smartphones and other glasses and cameras so that we can better access the physical environment around us. And in JAWS, we recognized that this fence was falling, and we wanted to quickly move to bring us all access to the things on the other side of that fence. And as of March of this year, so 4 months ago, we introduced this technology into JAWS into the form of a feature called Picture Smart AI. And that technology is allowing us access to things that we never could imagine, even 12 months ago, that we would have access to. Imagine now that you are shopping online and you want to know, what does the picture of that toaster oven actually look like? You know, I bought an air purifier for our house not long ago. This was about a year ago. I just went on Amazon, I found one that seemed good, and I bought it. We got it home. My wife, who is sighted, said, "Wow, that's great. It actually matches the decor of our living room." And I said, "Oh, I meant that." And really, I said, wow, I was really lucky because I had no idea that it would match the decor of our living room. Now, she'll hold me accountable next time because I can actually find out exactly the colors and the decor of the next air purifier that I buy for our house. Imagine you're shopping for a toaster oven and you want to know, does that toaster have a touch screen or does it have actual physical buttons that I can press? With Picture Smart AI, if you're shopping on your favorite e-commerce site, you can have JAWS give you descriptions, and you can even query the descriptions and ask, does this toaster or does this coffee machine have physical buttons? And then you can know with greater confidence that when you buy this, it will be a more accessible device for you. Yes, it's worth applause. All of this is, absolutely. Imagine you're shopping for clothes and you want to find out, does this shirt have cap sleeves or does this dress have an empire waist? You can find that out now. Now, ladies, you're thinking, oh, this makes sense, I get it. And the guys in the room were saying, what did he just say? I just learned those phrases last week, by the way, and I actually figured out what they mean now. So there's your education, gentlemen, for the day, cap sleeves and empire waists. This world is now possible for us. Imagine in education, you're working with science diagrams, a diagram of the anatomy of the hand, and now you can have described to you all of the bones, the muscles, the ligaments, and their names and their labels, and which one is connected to which. Imagine you're in chemistry and you want a description of the diagram that's in your textbook of an atom or of a carbon chain. All of these things now are possible with Picture Smart AI and digital textbooks that you might access on your computer. Imagine in a work environment when you're dealing with graphs and charts Imagine when you're dealing with the presentation that your coworker poured their heart and soul into, but it wasn't accessible when they gave it to you. And all JAWS could say was graphic, 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 chart, arrow, graphic, diagram. Now, all of those things you can have described to you. Imagine PowerPoint slideshows that you can create, and before you present them to your coworkers, you can double check their formatting. Exactly. So that when you send it to others, you know what it has on the screen for you. Imagine all of the pictures you might have stored on your computer for the last 25 years or shared through iCloud of the family vacations, of the children, the family growing up, and you didn't know exactly what they were. We can have those described in phenomenal detail, maybe more detail than we want. The AI has multiple times described me as a middle-aged man. And I said, oh boy, I don't know if I'm ready to identify with that yet, as far as being middle-aged. So there's a world that's opening up around us that we didn't have access to. And it doesn't have to just be for work or school or education. It can also be for things that we're just interested in. I want to share with you the story of a young boy back in 1991. He was 10 years old. He grew up in Northwest Florida, a few hours drive west of here. And this young boy loved the weather. He always went outside. He had low vision. He could see some. He loved to go watch the clouds. But he really loved the Weather Channel, back when the Weather Channel was really the Weather Channel.
Yeah.
He loved to watch the radar. He loved to look at satellite pictures of hurricanes because he grew up in Florida. He always loved looking at the weather maps for the forecast. Later, as he got older, his vision deteriorated, and he wasn't able to see those weather graphs, those radar maps, the satellite images. He wasn't able to experience those anymore. That world went away from him. Imagine where we are now, where that young boy now has the access to have radar images described to him when he's looking at the National Weather Service web pages. He doesn't use the Weather Channel anymore. He uses other sources. But now those radar images and satellite images can be described to him. That young boy is now 43 and is the one who's talking to you today. And that's a personal story that I share because that's a world that was closed to me for the last 30 plus years and is now reemerging as something that I can start to participate in again, thanks to the fence that has fallen down that separated us from that technology. Now, we should also address security around AI. It's a very common topic, very important to think about. And I want to share with you that for us as a company of Vespero Security, privacy is very important to us. And in the technology that we're creating with PictureSmart, all of our agreements with the AI companies that we use, we are paying customers for those companies. And our privacy agreements say that none of the data, none of the images that are shared with the AI are stored and they are not used for training. So that as you use this technology in JAWS, you are using it in a way that will be private and secure. There is no identification, there's no way to track what image was submitted by which person, nor do we or the AI companies share any of that information. And I want to share with you one more fence that's in the process of being toppled. It's not fallen down all the way, but it's leaning really heavily to the left right now, and it's just about to crumble and fall down. And that fence was blocking us from easy access to ways to use our assistive technology with the applications around us. That fence was blocking us from being able to quickly ask, how do I change the font in Microsoft Word? And how do I do it with the keyboard with JAWS versus Google telling me to click on this button or click on that button? How do I insert a table into a PowerPoint slide? And how do I get instructions that I can follow as someone who's using a screen reader? That fence, although somewhat translucent, because we have always had access to tools like Google and help documentation, but that fence is falling in the fact that we will now have easy access to those kinds of instructions. I think this will happen all around us in the digital space, but in particular, we are building right now at Vispero, we're building a chatbot for JAWS that will be able to tell you exactly how to do those things in the popular applications that you use. It will tell you exactly how to change the speech rate in JAWS when you want to slow it down or speed it up. When you forget 6 months later, how do I do that thing in Word? How do I insert page numbers? I did it 9 months ago and I can't remember today. You will just ask it, how do I insert page numbers in a Word document? And it will give you detailed instructions and tell you how to do that. And by the way, it will tell you how to do that with the keyboard. It will never tell you how to do it with a mouse. This is not years away. This is a few months away from being a reality. And some of you actually got to try it out here at the convention. And those who did, you got to see some of the power of this. And I cannot wait to share this with all of you as we get closer to releasing this. The fences are falling around us. And in conclusion, I'd like to share with you a quote by the author Richard Bach. He says, "Argue for your limitations, and they will be yours." I ask all of you, I ask each of us individually and collectively, let's explore our boundaries. Let's explore them personally, and let's explore them together. And let's break down those limitations that are around us. And by all means, watch out for falling fences. Thank you all.
Isn't that exciting stuff? Yeah, that's the kind of exciting stuff that we really like to hear. And to have the partnership that we have with Vispero as a corporate sponsor is just super meaningful as well for us. We're going to move to our angels presentations. Before we do, we have 3 angel presentations today and 4 tomorrow. I've had the privilege of knowing at least 2 of these people, so that's always kind of a challenge for me. But one of the things that I wanted to do was to tell you that we are making some changes to our Angels program. When this was envisioned by Dan Dillon and others, I don't think anyone thought it would be as big and as meaningful as it is for those who have contributed to make people and animals angels. And so, because we have some dogs up there. So, but it as we've added to the angels, every time we add a plaque, we add some more weight to the whole thing and some more size to the whole thing. And pretty soon, we would have to have our convention outside because the angels would be taking up all of our space in the hotel. So we have decided that due to, and then the other part of that is you're only getting an opportunity to look at the plaques once a year for a couple days. And so we've decided to kind of change from doing this as the plaques to really focusing on the videos, because we have found that, Ryan was talking about change, and that's one of the things that really changed for us was the fact that with so many more people virtual and so much of our time virtual, being able to access the angel videos has become much more meaningful. So we are shifting, and this year we will be doing just the videos, and we'll be making ways for members to have more access to those. And so we will not be doing the plaques going forward, but we will absolutely continue to honor our angels. And we will do our angels for each of the days all at once, because there was kind of a lot of stopping and starting, and it didn't feel very thoughtful in terms of going through a process. So we're going to hear about all three of our angels consecutively, and today's angels will be Kenny Johnson from Pearl City, Hawaii, I'm sorry. Robert Hill from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Oral Miller from Washington, D.C. And I'll have a few comments. Yeah. So let's go ahead and watch our angel videos.
Against the sparkling background, the letters ACB, and below each its corresponding Braille cell. ACB presents ACB Angel. Kenny Johnson, December 25th, 1953 to December 28th, 2023. Anthony Akamine, Honolulu, Hawaii.
So many memories of Kenny keeping us all on our toes. Kenny, he truly shares the love and aloha of the aloha spirit, greeting people with love, welcoming, and joy. I believe that so many folks can share so many other great memories, like Mitch and Donna, Michael and Peggy. One of my fondest moments was trying to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I think it was on a Christmas, somewhere around there, and trying to get to an ACB daily schedule call. Sure enough, there was Kenny on his birthday. And greeting the community, and folks said happy birthday to him, and even got a chance to sing a little birthday tune. After that, I got off the call and chatted with him, and he said, I gotta go. I gotta run. I gotta go talk to some other folks on the community call, like he always loves doing, like Tar Heel Tailgate, and so many other community calls. He truly made an impression. So much memories of coming to Chicago, meeting up with folks, getting big hugs, and even seeing his niece. Thank you to Hawaii, and thank you to ACB for engaging, building relationships with Kenny, and sharing the love and sharing the joy. So I say, consider a person that you need to share a little love and share the joy. Pick up your phone and tell them that you appreciate them and they're loved. Aloha.
Terry Lynn Hagashi, Honolulu, Hawaii.
Aloha! It's such an honor and privilege to speak about our dear friend, Kenny Johnson, an ACB angel. Born and raised in Chicago, he moved to Los Angeles, then Las Vegas, then Honolulu in 2007 with Vicky. He was married to Vicky for 20 years. Kenny was a very gregarious person who loved eating out in different restaurants with friends, especially his steaks. He liked to drink Bud Light and smoke his cigars, usually the slim ones. He gets a thrill dining off a boat while sailing across the waters of Oahu. He was a voracious reader. Download audiobooks from Bard and shared the stories with friends. He enjoyed listening to music with Vicky. Among his favorite artists included Elton John and a number of blues singers. He loved listening to jazz and classic rock as well. When he and Vicky came to Hawaii, he initially worked as a sales associate with the blind vendor Ohana, operated by 3 blind vendors under the Randolph Shepherd vending program at Honolulu International Airport, until he got his very own vending facility at Camp Smith, which was a military facility. Aside from joining the Hawaii Association of the Blind, ACB, and RSVA, he also was a member at the Pearl City Lions Club in Hawaii. He just loved being with people and sharing the aloha. A very unassuming individual, he was very generous. He did not hesitate donating to fundraising projects where he knew it was for a good cause, especially for the blind. He made a bid for bourbon balls at one of the past ACB auctions where he won that item for $500. Aside from working as a blind vendor, he was also a professional stand-up comedian, performing in places that he has a chance to share his talent to make people laugh and enjoy. His last stint was at the Warrior Lounge inside the Halikoa Hotel in Waikiki. Thank you for sharing the love, my friend, and thank you for always sharing the essence of aloha. You'll be missed.
ACB Angel. Robert Hill, August 10, 1944 to October 16, 2023. Jason Castengay, Manchester, New Hampshire.
One of the qualities that stands out in my mind when I think of Rob Hill is grace. No matter the challenges in a situation, he handled those challenges with poise, patience, and diplomacy. I believe that these attributes are what made him so successful in his founding of BPI, then B-Flag, as well as his legislative and advocacy work for the affiliate. On a personal note, Rob loved music and the arts and sang in various choirs for most of his life. He also loved to travel and educate himself on a variety of subjects through courses at a local college or through reading. His soft, quiet manner belied his outgoing nature and many talents. When I visited him, he was the perfect host, introducing me to friends, touring me around town, and ready with tickets to a performance or reservations for dinner. Rob, you will be missed, and I thank you so much for all the work you've done for B-Flag and beyond.
ACB presents ACB Angel. Oral Miller, April 7, 1933 to August 6, 2023. Jeff Tom, Sacramento, California.
Oral O. Miller, born April 7, 1933, died August 6, 1923. He was the third of 4 brothers and is survived by nieces, nephews, cousins, and stepchildren. Oral had a heart of gold and a mind beyond price. Born and raised in Kentucky, he attended the Kentucky School for the Blind after losing his vision in an accident during the 3rd grade. After graduating high school as valedictorian, he attended Princeton University, where he became the first blind athlete to participate in an NCAA team sport as a member of the Princeton crew. Both Princeton and rowing were passions of Oral's throughout his life. In 1958, he graduated from the University of Chicago Law School. After briefly practicing law in Louisville, he moved to Washington, D.C., where he worked for the U.S. Navy and then began his 22-year career with the Small Business Administration. Oral held leadership positions in many national and international sports-related organizations, most notably the United States Association of Blind Athletes, USABA. In the 1970s, he began his involvement in ACB leadership. He became president of the American Blind Lawyers Association in 1976, where many of us first came to know Oral. From 1978 until 1981, he served as ACB president. He was then the first what we would now call ACB's executive director. Oral and his wife, Roberta Douglas, loved to travel, but for them, traveling around the world achieved two major purposes. First, to experience the amazing richness of the world in which we live, and second, to advocate for people in other nations that are blind or have low vision. He retired from the staff of ACB in 1998, but his work for the organization never faltered. For example, in 1999, he helped found the Alliance on Aging and Vision Loss. He won numerous awards, including a Miguel Medal in 2014 from the American Foundation for the Blind. And it was one of the greatest honors in my blindness journey to be one of the presenters of that award. I want to focus the remainder of this testimonial on Oral the advocate and Oral the person. Put simply, I have never known a person who had the incredible combination of intelligence, talent in diverse areas, kindness, and humility that Oral had. If you think of an advocate as someone who used fiery speech and ringing oratory, well, that was not Oral. Persistent was how Melanie Brunson, former ACB executive director, described Oral's advocacy style. Let's just say Oral advocated like a dog going after a bone. He never gave up until he achieved his goal. I suspect he won far more with sugar than with spice. In my view, however, Oral's prowess as an athlete, advocate, and attorney pale in comparison to the person that was Oral Miller. When you had a conversation with Oral, he made you feel like you were the most important person in the room. When you finished chatting with Oral, you just felt better than before the conversation began. In conclusion, if you knew Oral, you will likely agree with me that he would want to end this tribute by saying, I am Oral Miller from Washington, D.C., land of taxation without representation.
A logo, ACB in print and braille, American Council of the Blind, together for a bright future.
Those were all wonderful angel presentations, and of course, people who, in very different ways, have been very significant to our organization. And I smiled there at the end with Jeff's comment, because that's so true about Oral. And I thought while they were talking about Kenny that, gosh, yes, they do have to get up early in Hawaii for the wake-up call, don't they? Even earlier than I do, and I complain a lot about it being at 6 a.m., but I shouldn't complain so much, should I? And I didn't have the pleasure of knowing Rob, but his influence in this organization has been very significant over the years. So I really do appreciate this opportunity to remember these individuals. And we'll remember some additional ones tomorrow. So thank you so much for that. All right, we have come to the exciting portion of our morning where we will do another affiliate roll call. Now, I've thought about teaching our affiliates, the Sesame Street alphabet song, the Abkadefki Jekobanafrasturixes. And so you can go home and look that up on YouTube if you don't know that song, but it will help you know where you are in the alphabet. It's very good. It's helped me for years. We will be doing the roll call now, and then later in the morning, before we end today, I will be able to tell you how we're proceeding with the elections that will occur tomorrow. We know we'll have some, and so we'll continue with that process, but there will be some changes because tomorrow we're going to try to have two. So let's go ahead, Denise, with the affiliate roll call.
Thank you, Deb. I'm sitting at a funny angle. Just give me a second. Let me get this a little closer to you, Denise. Is that better? Yes, thank you. Thank you. All right. The first states I will be calling are Alabama, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, and Connecticut. That is if I can get my computer. I'm Connecticut. Alabama Council of the Blind, 4 votes.
Good morning. Alabama cast 4 votes for Cecily Nipper.
4 Nipper. I'm sorry, guys. Arizona Council of the Blind, 2 votes.
Arizona Council of the Blind cast 1.5 for Brown, 0.5 for Hunsinger.
Oops. 1.5 Nipper, 0.5 Hunsinger.
Sorry. Thanks, Denise.
That's okay, Melanie. Arkansas Council of the Blind, 1 vote.
Arkansas cast 1 vote for Cecily Laney Nipper.
1 Nipper. California Council of the Blind, 17 votes.
I did it. Wow. All right, California Council of the Blind votes 14 Nipper, 3 Hunsinger.
14 Nipper, 3 Hunsinger.
Perfect.
Colorado Council of the Visually Impaired and Blind, 1 vote.
Good morning. The Centennial States, 0.5 for Hunsinger, 0.5 for Nipper.
0.5 Nipper, 0.5 Hunsinger. ACB of Connecticut, 3.
ACB of Connecticut cast 1 vote for Nipper.
1 Nipper. We'll be doing Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Hawaii, Illinois, and Indiana. Delaware Council of the Blind, 1 vote. Delaware, 1 vote. All right, I will no longer be calling Delaware. Florida Council of the Blind, 20 votes, excuse me.
I started to say, don't cheat us out of our vote.
Yeah, you just lost half your votes.
18 Nipper, 2 Hunsinger.
Sorry, Sheila. 18 Nipper, 2 Hunsinger.
Yes, ma'am.
Georgia Council of the Blind, 5 votes.
Georgia Council of the Blind would like to do 5 votes for Nipper.
5 Nipper.
Let's turn this way.
Hawaii Association of the Blind, 3 votes.
Hawaii Association of the Blind votes 3 votes for Nipper.
3 Nipper. Illinois Council of the Blind, 3 votes.
Good morning. Illinois Council of the Blind, 2.5 Cecily, 0.5 Hunsinger.
2.5 Nipper, 0.5 Hunsinger. Indiana, 4 votes.
Indiana has 3.5 votes for Nipper, 0.5 for Hunsinger.
3.5 Nipper, 0.5 Hunsinger. I don't even know where I am. I mean, I know I'm on Iowa, but... Okay, we'll be doing Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Bluegrass, Louisiana, and Maine. Iowa Council of the United Blind, 3 votes.
Good morning. Iowa cast 3 votes for Nipper.
3 Nipper. Kansas Association of the Blind, 3 votes.
Kansas votes 1.5 votes for Nipper and 1.5 votes for Hunsinger.
1.5 Nipper, 1.5 Hunsinger. Kentucky Council of the Blind, 13 votes.
Kentucky Council of the Blind will cast all 13 votes for Cecily Nipper.
13 Nipper. Bluegrass Council of the Blind, 4 votes.
Bluegrass Council, all 4 votes go to Cecily.
4 Nipper. Louisiana, 3 votes.
Louisiana, 3 votes, Nipper.
3 Nipper. We will be doing Maryland, Bay State, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, and Missouri next. ACB of Maine, 2 votes.
Good morning. Maine votes 1.5 for Cecily and 0.5 for Christine.
1.5 Nipper, 0.5 Hunsinger. Maryland, 3 votes.
Good morning. Maryland votes 2.5 for Nipper and 0.5 for Hunsinger.
2.5 Nipper, 0.5 Hunsinger. Bay State Council of the Blind, 8 votes.
Bay State cast 6 for Nipper, 2 for Hunsinger.
6 Nipper, 2 Hunsinger. Michigan Council of the Blind, 5 votes. Michigan. All right.
Michigan will proudly cast all 5 votes for Cecily Laney Nipper.
5 Nipper. Minnesota.
Minnesota votes
3 votes.
2.5 for Nipper, 0.5 for Hunsinger.
2.5 Nipper, 0.5 Hunsinger. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Thank you. Mississippi Council of the Blind, 3 votes.
Mississippi, 3 Nipper.
3 Nipper. We will be doing Nebraska, Nevada, New Jersey, New York, North Carolina, and North Dakota next. Missouri Council of the Blind, 16 votes.
Greg Hollins, Kansas City, Missouri, cast 13.5 Nipper, 2.5 Hunsinger.
13.5 Nipper, 2.5 Hunsinger. Nebraska, 1 vote.
1 for Nipper.
1 Nipper. Nevada Council of the Blind, 3 votes.
She's coming.
Nevada casts 3 votes for Nipper.
3 Nipper. New Jersey Council of the Blind, 2 votes.
New Jersey, 2 votes for Hunsinger.
2 Hunsinger. New York, 9 votes.
New York casts 5 votes for Cecily and 4 votes for Chris.
5 Nipper, 4 Hunsinger. North Carolina Council of the Blind, 4 votes. North Carolina. North Dakota Association of the Blind, 5 votes.
We cast all our votes for Nipper, 5 votes.
5 Nipper. Thank you. Okay, we'll be doing Ohio, Oklahoma, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Palmetto, and South Dakota. North Dakota Association of the Blind, 5 votes. Oh, I'm sorry. Ohio, 8 votes.
Good morning, Madam Secretary. 6 for Nipper, 2 for Hunsinger for Ohio.
6 Nipper, 2 Hunsinger.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Oklahoma Council of the Blind, 17 votes.
Oklahoma Council of the Blind, 17 votes, Nipper.
17 Nipper. ACB of Oregon, 4 votes.
Oregon, 3.5 Nipper, 0.5 Hunsinger.
3.5 Nipper, 0.5 Hunsinger. Pennsylvania Council of the Blind, 7 votes.
1 vote for Nipper, 6 votes for Chris Hunsinger.
1 Nipper, 6 Hunsinger. Palmetto Council of the Blind, 1 vote.
Palmetto, 1 Nipper.
1 Nipper. We'll be doing Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Vermont, Virginia, and Washington next. Tennessee Council of the Blind, 6 votes.
South Dakota.
Oh, sorry, South Dakota.
South Dakota.
3 votes.
South Dakota cast 3 votes for Cecily.
Sorry about that. 3 Nipper. Tennessee Council of the Blind, 6 votes.
Tennessee, 6 votes. Nipper.
6 Nipper. ACB of Texas, 11 votes.
Good morning, Texas proudly casts its 11 votes for Cecily Laney Nipper.
11 Nipper. Thank you. Utah Council of the Blind, 14 votes.
Utah votes 14 Nipper.
14 Nipper. Vermont Council of the Blind, 3 votes. I can hear 3 Nipper. Oh, Tom, that was good. ACB of Virginia, 3 votes.
Virginia, 2 Nipper, 1 Hunsinger.
2 Nipper, 1 Hunsinger. We will be doing next Mountain States, Wisconsin, Wyoming, Alliance on Vision Loss, blind teachers, attorneys, and ACB diabetics. Washington Council of the Blind, 17 votes.
For Nipper, we have 14. For Hunsinger, we have 3.
Nipper 14, Hunsinger 3. Mountain State Council of the Blind, 2 votes.
Mountain State Council of the Blind casts 2 votes for Nipper.
2 Nipper. Wisconsin, 1 vote.
ACB of Wisconsin is pleased to cast its 1 vote for Cecily Laney Nipper.
1 Nipper. Wyoming Council of the Blind, 1 vote.
Well, I know, I just didn't know whether any people.
Wyoming. Alliance on Aging and Vision Loss, 7 votes.
The AAVL votes 4.5 Nipper, 2.5 Hunsinger.
4.5 Nipper, 2.5 Hunsinger. American Association of Blind Teachers, 2 votes.
American Association of Blind Teachers casts 2 votes for Cecily Laney Nipper.
2 Nipper. American Association of Visually Impaired Attorneys, 1 vote.
1 vote, Cecily.
1 Nipper. Next group will be families, government employees, Next Generation, Lions, radio amateurs, and students. ACB Diabetics in Action, 4 votes.
Good morning. ACB Diabetics in Action, 3.5 Nipper, 0.5 Hunsinger.
3.5 Nipper, 0.5 Hunsinger. ACB Families, 4 votes.
Where the word family is key, cast
3.5 for Nipper and 0.5 for Hunsinger.
3.5 Nipper, 0.5 Hunsinger. ACB government employees, 1 vote.
Government employees, 0.5 Nipper, 0.5 Hunsinger.
0.5 Nipper, 0.5 Hunsinger. ACB Next Generation, 4 votes.
ACB Next Generation proudly casts all 4 votes for Cecily Laney Nipper.
4 Nipper. American Council of Blind Lions, 4 votes.
ACB Lions casts 4 votes for Nipper.
4 Nipper. ACB Radio Amateurs, 1 vote.
ACB Radio Amateurs casts its 1 vote for Nipper.
1 Nipper. Next group we'll be doing are Blind Information Technology Specialists, Blind LGBT Pride International, Braille Revival League, Council of Citizens with Low Vision, Friends in Art, and Guide Dog Users. ACB students, 1 vote.
The American Council of Blind Students is proud to cast its 1 vote for Cecily Laney Nipper.
1 Nipper. Blind Information Technology Specialist, 25 votes. He's coming.
Is this one working? Right there.
Good morning, everyone. BITS is proud to cast our 25 votes as follows. 6 for Hunsiker, 19 for Cecily.
$19 Nipper, 6 Hunsinger. That's good, Tough. That's the way I do things. Blind LGBT Pride International, 6 votes.
Ho, 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 and good morning. Blind Pride very proudly unwraps all 6 votes for Christmas. I mean, Christine Hunsinger.
Christmas? Christmas. Ooh. 6 Hunsinger. Braille Revival League, 12 votes.
Braille Revival League, 9.5 for Cecily and 2.5 for Hunsinger.
9. I'm sorry, can you give me that again, Chris?
I mean, it's Lucy, by the
Lucy,
way.
I'm sorry. Would you say 9.5?
Yeah.
9.5 for Nipper.
Cecily.
Yes. And 2.5 Hunsinger. Thank you. I just missed you. Thank you.
Yep.
Council of Citizens with Low Vision International, 10 votes.
CCLVI cast 9.5 votes for Nipper and 0.5 votes for Hunsinger.
9.5 Nipper, 0.5 Hunsinger. Friends in Art, 2 votes.
Friends in Art votes 1 vote for Hunsinger and 1 vote for Nipper.
1 Nipper, 1 Hunsinger. Guide Dog Users Incorporated, 16 votes.
Guide Dog Users cast 12 votes for Cecily and 4 votes for Christine.
12 Nipper, 4 Hunsinger. Independent Visually Impaired Enterprisers, 1 vote.
IVIE does 0.5 for Nipper and 0.5 for Hunsinger.
0.5 Nipper, 0.5 Hunsinger. Library Users of America, 7 votes.
Good morning. Library Users of America casts 5.5 votes for Nipper and 1.5 votes for Hunsinger.
5.5 Nipper, 1.5 Hunsinger. Randolph Shepherd Vendors of America, 13 votes.
RSBA, all 13 votes for Nipper.
13 Nipper. Veterans of ACB, 1 vote.
Good morning again. Veterans of ACB is proud to cast its one vote for our board liaison, Cecily Laney Nipper.
One Nipper. Again, North Carolina Council of the Blind, 4 votes.
North Carolina votes 3 votes Cecily, and 1 vote Christine.
3 Nipper, 1 Hunsinger. Wyoming Council of the Blind, 1 vote. Wyoming. And that will be the last time I call Wyoming. Madam Chair, that completes the call of the roll.
And the count people are already ready. So all the things I was going to have us do while they toss the beans back and forth are on hold. So let's go to our totals.
We're ready.
Ready.
So Julie and I took our shoes off and we were ready to count today. So
They got a bigger jar for the beans, so
yes,
that
we
helped
did.
too.
So the grand total in percentages, 78% for Cecily Laney Nipper, 22% for Christine Hunsinger. The percentage of the affiliate vote was 83.8% for Nipper and 16.2% for Hunsinger. The individual vote, 74.4% for Nipper, 25.6% for Hunsinger. And for the totals, the total number of individuals that voted there was 968 votes. So there were, for the affiliates, 310 for Nipper, 60 for Hunsinger. The individual vote was 445 for Nipper, 153 for Hunsinger. And that is it.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So I couldn't tell my story yesterday because I think that would have been feeling like campaigning, but I do have to tell my Cecily Laney Nipper story. So I just think it's just entirely classic in terms of the way she works. So I didn't know this person. She was had become a host with the community and was one of the hosts selected for the convention. I think this might have been 21. And so she was hosting for the convention, and I needed to go over to a room where she was hosting and turn on the captioning for their meeting because they needed captioning there. So I came, and this person that I didn't know, who was the host, said, "Oh, I've been wanting to meet you. You have some work that I could do to help you." Now that is exactly the way Cecily works. And that is exactly what we need here in ACB. So I have remembered that, and we've been putting her to work ever since. And so that's all great. All right, I'm going to now turn. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I'm going to let Cecily say something. These guys need to remind me of everything. Yes, Cecily, would you like to make a comment? Yes.
Hello. Oh. I would just like to say thank you to everyone who supported me and to those who voted for me, and to say that I'm looking forward to representing all the members again during my next 4 years on the board. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
This is Sheila Young, and I want to make a motion that we go with the next election so that those that have to leave early for the candy tour could have the opportunity to take part.
The difficulty with making that change is that it does throw people off who might be coming in at the approximate time for the elections. So I'm really reluctant to change the schedule at this stage. If we are voting, remember that the voting will all be by record vote. And so it's not like we're going to vote on something at this point. Yeah? Go hold on one moment. Yes, Julie, I'm checking with the parliamentarian. Yeah? Oh, okay. Julie says that this would have to be a motion to suspend the rules, and it will require a 2/3 vote. No, it wouldn't be a record vote, obviously. You couldn't do that today. You couldn't do that today. So it will have to be basically a standing vote and a vote in Zoom. So it's been moved and loudly seconded that we would suspend the rules and the program and move to the next election now. And so so is there any additional discussion? No discussion, she says, parliamentarian says. So fine, we won't do that. All right, so I'm going to, because we have to have a number, I am going to ask you to rise by either raising your hand or standing if you are in the room. And if you are in the room, in the main room, you can't do this in the delegate room, you will raise your hand and our counters will take a count. This is, if you are in favor of suspending the rules and moving the election process to now. Which is totally okay with me. It's just, I want to get it right. Yes, if you cannot stand, you must raise your hand, keep it up high, and hold it up there. It's not like Zoom where you just press a key and you got to, and don't be like scratching your hair. You got to be very clear because this is a specific number. This is not just most of you. This is 2/3. Yeah, don't move around. Yeah, you can't walk to another place and vote again. Come on.
And in Zoom, please keep your hands raised.
Yeah, this is not Chicago, Ray said. And you can vote early and often sometimes if you belong to lots of affiliates, but this isn't that. Yeah, but they can do that. They're good. And this is good practice because this is what they voted. So. Are we good? Oh. Okay. Yeah. All righty, I need the Zoom hands lowered. Everyone else too. You may put your hands down. And
Do you have the count in Zoom?
yes, they do.
Okay.
Yes, so you may sit and lower your hands and do whatever you were doing to vote. And then when all of those are down, we'll take the other vote. You need to sit in a row. You can't be out somewhere else. You have to be in the perimeter of the seating to
In Zoom,
sit.
please keep your hands down.
Yes, keep your hands down in Zoom. We're not taking any discussion at all. Please keep your hands down everywhere. In the room, sit down. It's not stretching time. You can stretch later. You're using up your
I keep
break.
lowering
So.
hands. Please keep them down.
Yeah. People in Zoom, please do not put your hand up. We will let you know when you can vote no. There's someone still standing in the room. I need an ejection button so we can just pop them up through the ceiling and say, all right, you're out of here. Yeah, we've got a removal thing in Zoom. We don't have one really in here. We need a sergeant at arms. I bet the BVA has one of those. They do. The guy who led our. I'll go get him. He was nice. All right, are we seated? Are they sitting down? All right, we are good. If you would like to vote no on the motion to suspend the rules and move the elections to now, please raise your hand or stand or raise your hand in Zoom, and you must be in the seating area. You cannot be wandering in and out by the door. Yeah. No. Unless Julie tells me. All those. Oh, they've got Rick's got it.
25.
All right. Everyone, sit. See, I have a guide dog. I know how to tell it. I'll pat my side and say, sit. Yes. Yes, stay. All right. We can lower the hands in Zoom, and everyone else, please be seated. Pardon me? All right. We do have 2/3 in the affirmative to suspend the rules. Excellent. All right. We will continue. All right. So the next board election that we would have, the nominating committee has put forward the name of Kenneth Simeon Sr. from Beaumont, Texas. And Kenneth has actually made it here. So I want you to all know that we have engineered the election so that we wouldn't vote till he was here. So just so you know. Now, Kenneth's name has been placed into nomination. Are there any other nominations from the floor? Are there any other nominations from the floor? And for a third time, are there any other nominations from the floor? Yes, nominations are closed, and Kenneth Simeon Sr. is elected by acclamation. Kenneth, would you like to say a few words? Where's Kenneth? Okay.
Madam President,
There you are.
should I speak?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, everybody, for your great support. I have enjoyed serving on the board for the first term. You've given me your vote of confidence for today again, and I'm going to make sure I hear you and work with you to make things happen in ACB. Thank you so much for all the calls and texts over the past few days. Have a great day.
All right. Thank you very much. Excellent. Okay. We have one final election for the Board of Directors. The Nominations Committee has placed into nomination Peter Heidi from Wisconsin. Peter's name has been placed in nomination. Are there any other nominations from the floor? Are there any other nominations from the floor? And that can be Zoom or in the room. Are there, for the third time, are there any other nominations from the floor? Hearing none, I move that nominations will be closed and Peter Heidi will be elected to the ACB Board of Directors by acclamation. And Peter is at a microphone. Peter.
Yes. Madam President and ACB, I thank you for this great honor. And I hope that I will be...
Into the mic a little more, Peter.
Madam President, it's a great honor, and all of ACB. It is a great honor to be elected to your work and service. I'm too tall for this mic stand.
Yeah.
I thank you all for your confidence and your support. I hope that my service to you in the coming years will be of benefit to you, and thank you again.
All right, thank you so very much. All right. Well, this is lots of fun. I'm having a good time. Are you all having a good time? Yeah. All right. All right. So that completes all of the nominations related to the Board of Directors, and now we move to the Board of Publications. So the nominating committee has placed into nomination the name of Jeff Bishop.
Madam Chair,
Yes?
I'm wondering if you could announce to the body who you are appointing as BOP chair?
I'm planning to do that at the end.
Thank you.
Yes, I haven't forgotten. I will do it at the end. All right, because I don't want, and the reason for that is I don't want, since we're in an off year, I don't want to rule out any states. And if I were to do that, it would potentially impact some state. So we will wait. But I'm keeping track of whether it does. All right. The nominating committee has placed into nomination the name of Jeff Bishop from Tucson, Arizona. All right. Are there any nominations from the floor? Are there any nominations from the floor?
We have one in Zoom.
All right, in Zoom.
Michael Byington, you may unmute.
Thank you. It is my pleasure to place in nomination the name of Anthony Corona of Florida, who is a trainer and contractor for Amtrak. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right. Is there a second? Okay, we have a second. All right, very good. Then we will, let's see, I've asked once. My second time, are there any other nominations from the floor? And for a third time, are there any other nominations from the floor? Okay, we do have a contested election for the first seat on the Board of Publications. I need Jeff and Anthony to identify who their speakers will be. Jeff, who will your speakers be? Jeff's going to a microphone. I think Anthony is in Zoom.
Good morning, everyone. My speakers will be Paul Edwards and Amanda Selm.
Paul Edwards and Amanda Selm in that order. They are both in the room, I believe. Okay, so you guys can get to mics. Anthony, who will your speakers be?
Thank you so much. I'm proud to say my speakers will be Michael Byington and Ron Brooks.
Michael, I know, is in Zoom. Is Ron also in Zoom? Or is Ron here? Yeah, I know he was here yesterday, but his session's ended, so he may be. Is Ron in Zoom?
He is not.
Okay. Okay, is Ron Brooks in the room?
I don't see him at Arizona.
We're going to check and see if he's in the marketplace, and we'll certainly. I just want to get everybody identified before we start having any of them. So I think it's much less disruptive for everyone.
Oh, we do have Lisa Brooks.
Okay, so
I don't know if that's Anthony. Or not
Yeah.
Anthony, Ron.
So I'm
yeah,
just going to
Lisa.
say that he's on his way. We didn't realize that elections were happening right now, and he's literally up the escalator.
Okay.
Thank
We found him, I think. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, this does have sort of an impact on people when we change the agenda. Okay. Ron is in the room now, so by the time we're ready for Ron, we'll be fine, I think. Okay. So your teams of speakers will have 5 minutes to divide them ever how you've directed them to do. And we can begin with the speakers for Jeff Bishop.
Madam Chair, should I go ahead or?
Yes, go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to rise to speak on behalf of Jeff Bishop. I first got to know Jeff Bishop when he brought an issue of moral concern to the Board of Publications. What I have found with Jeff is that he has always been prepared to stand up and be counted and to demonstrate both loyalty and integrity in every job that he's done. Many of us know the work that Jeff has done for ACB Media. Most of us know that Jeff has served for the last year on the Board of Publications. Also, it is my belief that most people know that Jeff has a background that suits him to work on the Board of Publications. He began his career, or at least spent much of his career, working as an IT specialist in Arizona, and he worked for a college system where his primary task was to create accessible resources for students with disabilities. Jeff left that job to move to Washington to go to work for Microsoft. But he believed that working with Microsoft, while important and relevant, was not as important as standing up for a better family life by moving back to Arizona and going back to work for the university with whom he had worked before. Jeff's work in BITS is amazing. He took a relatively small and struggling affiliate and turned it into the largest, strongest affiliate in the American Council of the Blind. We could not, ladies and gentlemen, ask for a better candidate for the Board of Publications than Jeff Bishop, and I yield the rest of my time to my friend Amanda Selms.
Madam President, may I know how much time I have left?
Time. 2.5 minutes.
Thank you. All right, I'm ready. So, ladies and gentlemen, I rise to speak in nomination of Jeff Bishop. I'm not going to repeat everything that Paul just said, but to echo that I also believe that since he did help build one of the strongest affiliates in ACB, that tells me, and that should tell you all, that he is invested in this organization and that he is invested in the membership and letting people know just how amazing our organization is. If you had the opportunity to attend our candidates forum on June 20th, you heard a lot about Jeff's passion and his abilities and just how strong he is in feeling for ACB. Jeff is invested in building the next generation, which I represent, of leaders of ACB. So with that in mind, I just want to say that I have enjoyed working with Jeff, and I encourage everyone to vote for Jeff this afternoon because he represents strength. He represents what our next generation needs as fundamentals and mentoring. And so thank you, and I yield the rest of my time.
All right. And now we will go to Anthony's speakers, and I believe Michael is first.
Thank you very much. Let me first of all acknowledge that there are 4 very well qualified candidates for the Board of Publications, and unfortunately, we only have 3 positions to elect. My candidate, however, is Anthony Corona, and I appreciate this opportunity to explain why. It's very hard for me to realize that Anthony has only been involved with ACB since 2019. This is because he has made such an impact on the organization with the fine work that he has done. He is clearly a fixture within the ACB media program. He is the host of Sunday Edition. He does a number of other calls and podcasts. One of my favorites as a fellow karaoke person is his Behind the Music show. He definitely is involved as a member of the media team. He has a great deal of experience as a writer professionally, both before and after becoming blind. Most significantly, he was the East Coast entertainment editor for the Associated Press for over 10 years. He writes for ACB Voices. He does writing and editing for a number of ACB affiliate publications. He created and manages Member on the Mic. He was a J.C. Morgan Fellow in 2021, and he has used that training very much to ACB's advantage. He was a 2022 recipient of the Ned E. Freeman Award for Excellence in Writing. Now, let's talk about ACB and controversy. ACB was created by people who had the courage to step out when that seemed to be the most appropriate thing to do with another organization, and also the courage to bring people together and to build forward. Anthony is very careful in his leadership roles to get all opinions and to make certain that everyone has had an opportunity to speak. I support Anthony very much because I believe that this organization needs adversity and needs people who are willing to be a team player and yet at the same time go against what seems to be the majority to make certain that all views are expressed. Thank you very much, and I'll yield the rest of my time to Ron.
All right. And how much time does Ron have? How much? 2 minutes, Ron.
Thank you. First off, please do not let my being late reflect on my candidate. I was confused about the agenda. So what I want to do, this is to me, and what often happens in these elections, and I've been here for a long time, is we compare individuals. There is no question that Jeff Bishop, and I'm an Arizonan, I know Jeff well in our state and from his time on the BOP when I was there and also on the board of directors. And there's no question about the quality of these candidates. But you're not electing between Anthony and Jeff just on the basis of who they are. You're electing for a position on the Board of Publications. And I chaired the Board of Publications, so I'm pretty familiar with what the board does and its purpose within this organization. And Anthony reflects the work that the BOP does. Michael has gone through his qualifications. I won't repeat them. What I want to talk about, though, is the fact that the work that the BOP does is the work that Anthony has done for this organization, and it's the work that he's done professionally before that. He's one of the most qualified candidates for the work that the BOP does for this organization that I've ever seen, present company included. The other thing I want to talk about is change. I'm in an industry where I'm a change agent, and I'm here to tell you change is hard. It's hard for organizations like transit, where I work, and it's hard for organizations like ACB that has a long established traditions and culture. But change is also hard for people who lead change. I'm one of those people, and I've struggled with this. And I think that change is also hard for people like Anthony, who are leading change within an organization.
Time.
I think thank you.
Sure, that's okay. And you were not confused, Ron. They changed the agenda, so they voted, and so you're fine. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, we are completed with this part of the process. So this afternoon, and I'm going to change the agenda slightly again to accommodate some things. So this afternoon, yes, I'm making Eric wait. This afternoon, we will have voting, the individual voting in Vote Now, and the candidates in the Vote Now will be Jeff Bishop and Anthony Corona. And then in the morning, we will have, again on Thursday morning, we will have affiliate voting, and we will, of course, be voting for those two candidates. Immediately following that affiliate voting, we will have the next election like we just did today. That was already planned for tomorrow. So we are going to have another election tomorrow. While some other things are going on this morning, we are working out the logistics of where the affiliate vote will take place. But the polls, the individual vote for tomorrow's election, will be open only 2 hours from noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And I checked this with Hawaii. It was okay with Hawaii that we go that early. So thank you, Hawaii, so we can do that. So if we have another election, should we have one, then we will have a way to accommodate that. So I want to assure you of that. What I think I'd like to do, because we are at the time that we would have had the break, is I would like to take the break, and then I think we can take it. And then I would like, when we come back, Ray Campbell, our second vice president. See, last year when I announced him, he was the first vice president. So he's running down the food chain there. And from Illinois will be our presiding officer and will lead us through actually everything else that's this morning, because we took care of what I would have come back for. So we're going to take a break, and it is... We are going to return at 10:20. He can't. He can't. We will. Eric will be our first presenter, Eric Bridges from AFB, and he will be beginning just after 10:20 because he's got a time constraint, and we want to accommodate that. And then we'll be back on track. So thank you all. We will start promptly at 10:20.
All right. I would ask everyone to please come back to order. Oh my gosh, this sounds... I feel like I'm in the world's biggest echo chamber up here. Let's come back to order, please. And this is not Deb Cook-Lewis. This is Ray Campbell coming to you from the land of the horseshoe, Springfield, Illinois. And you want to know what that is, talk to Colby Garrison. All right. We are going to start with a couple of door prizes. So, are door prize people ready? Okay. They need a microphone. The door prize crew needs a microphone. So, let's do 2.
I'm coming with this mic.
Door prize, Mr.
Door prize.
Door prize. Here we go.
Okay,
Let's do
this
2.
is Katie from the Florida Convention Crew. So let me tell you what we got here. Our first one is Kate Ing. She's here, and she won $50 cash from ACBRA. So swing by and see Janet. Our next person is virtual, and his name is Mohammed Sohabi, and he won $25 cash from ACBM. So swing by. Well, I guess you can't swing by, but the Minnesota office will be mailing that to you.
We'll get it to you.
You can swing to
Mohammed.
Minnesota.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
We'll do some more. We'll do a couple more at the end. All right.
Okay.
I was asked. I know I kind of told Michael Garrett towards the end, but I was asked just to make one quick announcement. This is the only announcement we're going to do right now. The monthly monetary support program. If you would like to sign up for that or increase your contribution, they've got some great prizes this year. New enrollees, if you've been in for 3 years, 5 years, and I think there's one more, but I don't remember it. But anyway, they are right outside in the ACB Marketplace area, which, by the way, go check out Marketplace. Those organizations are small businesses, affiliates. They really work hard. They're in the ACB Marketplace area. You can also if you want to get involved with the monthly monetary support program, it's a great program, raises lots of good money for our affiliates in ACB. You can either go out there, you can call 888-999-3190, I believe is the number, or you can send an email to askacbmms@gmail.com. Again, that's askacbmms@gmail.com. Jean Mann monitors that, does a great job, and she will get back to you and get you signed up. So, no problem, Scott. All right. I now get to introduce a good friend of ACB to talk to us about what's happening at his organization, the American Foundation for the Blind. It gives me great pleasure to bring to the microphone the president and CEO of the American Foundation for the Blind, and one of my favorite people to talk Big Ten football with, Mr. Eric Bridges.
All right. Well, good morning, everyone. And good morning again. Well, I had the opportunity to sit here and witness ACB democracy this morning, which was excellent and familiar. And so congratulations to those who were elected. I want to start off by thanking Deb Cook-Lewis and the staff for inviting the American Foundation for the Blind back to present at the general session this morning. It's wonderful for AFB to have a presence here and to provide you updates on the work we've been up to over the last year. Last night, I was able to participate in the Scholarship Awards reception and got to meet a lot of the winners, and wish all of you luck and congratulations as you move forward in your academic endeavors. It's been wonderful. Wonderful to catch up with folks from the Scholarship Committee. And then last night we also did a screening of our documentary Possibilities that many of you came to, and I'll talk about more talk about that more here in the coming minutes. But my goodness, what have we been up to? Well, for starters, can you all say good morning AFB? 1, 2, 3. Good morning AFB. Right on. They're all watching and listening right now, my entire team, which is pretty cool. So it has been about 15 months since I've taken leadership of the organization, and it has been a lot of really good work, a lot of change. When I arrived here last summer, I was actively drinking from a fully open fire hose, and really wanted to listen to folks that I was meeting with here, as well as the NFB convention. I spoke there and met with folks there to get an understanding of what they wanted to see from AFB. When I got to AFB, what I encountered was a really passionate and talented group of people that really were seeking to have a bit more focus and direction in the work that the organization was needing to take on. And so it became very apparent to me that the organization needed to, we needed to put together a strategic plan. And as part of that, we engaged, obviously, the team at AFB, the Board of Trustees at AFB, but then external stakeholders like the American Council of the Blind and other longtime partners to really understand the needs that you all have that may or may not have been met in recent years. And so we did essentially a SWOT analysis as part of our plan: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. And did a lot of listening. And I did a lot of listening for the first few months that I was at AFB, just with my own team, understanding where the pain points were and what we could do to help make things better. So that really started, the planning component of it really started in the summer and went through the fall. And at our November board meeting, the Board of Trustees unanimously approved our strategic plan. And so what I thought I'd do is take you through, there are 5 components of it. And actually, it's all on our website, afb.org. You can go and take a look at the full 13-page version, which will probably make your eyes glaze over and fall asleep. Or there's a 2-page plan that is a lot more consumable and I think really targets what I'm going to just talk to you about. There's 5 areas of what we're focused on, but there are 3 that are really external that this group, I think, would be most interested in. The first is really our generate knowledge to drive change, and that's really the advocacy and research work that we do, the public policy and research work that we're historically known for, and being able to put together research that is timely, that is helping to answer a question or to meet a need that has been yet unmet, be it in academia, in the consumer advocacy movement, or in corporate America. And AFB has been very strong in that area for many years. But one of the things that we heard from our external partners is that they would like us to be able to translate that research into more consumable documented papers. And so a couple weeks ago, we did a refresh of our research page, afb.org/research, that really seeks to take the research and boil it down in a couple pages so that not just academics are able to take advantage of and understand the work that we do, but lay audiences. The mom or a dad of a blind 8-year-old, right, that's needing services in public school, or the the blind college student needing to understand, barriers to digital inclusion as part of a project that he or she is working on. So, this is good stuff. It's helping to meet a need that we heard, and our research shouldn't just be about that audience. It should be for everyone, because we don't just do it for AFB, we do it for the broader community, the blind community, but the broader community at large. Along with that, we also did refresh our statistical snapshot. I almost got it. Statistical snapshot, which is something that I know when I was here at ACB and others in the field have come to rely on down through the decades, that information that we collect and share with the world on afb.org. To go along with this, there are other aspects of research and policy dealing with artificial intelligence and transportation. The ever-changing environment that we're now living in with AI. There is not a lot of literature out there on artificial intelligence and its impact on our community. Now, we're feeling some of the initial impact through certain applications. Some of it's good, but there's still not a lot known, and there's not really a lot of research actively being done. But what I'm here to tell you is that we are. We've engaged in the beginnings of research looking at AI and its effects on our own community, interviewing AI experts, and looking at it from different perspectives. So policy, ethics, the technical nature of it. And we will be presenting at our fall conference some of the initial findings. And by the way, our conference is being held September 23rd to the 25th in Minneapolis, Minnesota, at this hotel called the Hyatt Regency, which many of you may recognize from past conventions that ACB has held. So that convention is really a lot about digital inclusion and where we meet. We've received a lot of proposals for presentations, and it's been wonderful to see the interest in our conference. Some of you may remember that for the last several years, our conference has been held in Washington, D.C., and we felt like it was good for AFB to take it out on the road again, as was customary for AFB to do so in years gone by. So this year we'll be in Minneapolis. Next year we'll be in the Washington, D.C. area, and likely the year after that we'll take it out again. It's been really good to be able to plan for this, to have Tony Stevens, our Assistant Vice President of Communications, leading the charge. Tony's here with us this morning. Say hello to Tony. And, the other component of this leadership conference for the last several years has been the Helen Keller Achievement Awards. We decoupled the Achievement Awards this year because we wanted it to have its own space. And we held it in Los Angeles at the Japanese American National Museum. And with our documentary coming out, we wanted to really focus on entertainment and inclusive entertainment in particular. And so we honored the filmmaker, Sean Levy, for his work with All the Light We Cannot See, which I know this organization shared casting calls for blind actors for that show, for that series, in which there were 2 blind actors selected, as well as actor Marilee Talkington, who many of you may recognize. She attended and spoke at a convention here about 6 years ago, and her mother is still a member of the California Council of the Blind. And then we recognized Disney, but specifically Lucasfilm, for their dedication to really world-class audio description. So there's a lot, and it's our expectation that the Helen Keller Achievement Awards will move back likely to the New York area in 2025. A lot of work went into that, and to have it be so successful. The other area of our work that I wanted to highlight is the programs that we have that deal with digital inclusion and training. We have a digital accessibility boot camp that's ongoing right now this summer with about 19 participants, and these are college students that are majoring in computer science or a related field to really learn the foundational aspects of what digital inclusion looks like. And we've built a curriculum for this. And so they're learning that way, but they're also getting some exposure through the client services aspect of what we do, which is consulting with corporate America on projects. So they're getting to learn through the traditional way and then learn by doing, which I think is very important. We've got a couple of big announcements that are coming, one in particular in the next couple weeks, which I will just tease here, but we'll go no further. And that's been in the client services arena for AFB, and it's a project that's really spanned every department at one point or another in AFB. And I'm really excited for that launch here in the next couple weeks. Really, the final piece is really the shared national narrative and what AFB can do to help. Our community, the misperceptions of our community and our capabilities and our capacity is still, I would say, unacceptably low. And last week I was in an Uber, and this happens every so often where I'm in an Uber and the person's like astounded. I've got a guide dog, and oh my gosh, I have a job, and then your wife, yeah, you got a wife, okay. So she probably takes care of the boys, right? I said, well, yeah, but I do too, and he made the assumption that she could see, right? Which is pretty common. Yeah, those of you that know Rebecca know she can't see. And his mind was blown that we also have two-sighted children, right? So two blind parents, two-sighted children, and I want for there to be, and I think we all do, it's not just me, we want for that stigma to go away. And so what we did, and then this has been a project that was probably 3 years in the making when I got to AFB. There was a documentary that was in process, and we made the determination that we were going to move forward and finish the job. Tony Stevens was instrumental in helping with that, as well as our director, Bill Sarine. To have a documentary that really looked at Helen Keller's life through contemporary voices. And so, as you all may be aware, or maybe not, Helen worked for AFB for 44 years, and when she passed away, we have ownership of her physical and digital archive. And so, throughout this roughly 90-minute documentary, you will see photos of her, but you'll hear the voices of roughly 33 blind and low vision individuals from all walks of life, talking about subject matter that you all are familiar with: transportation, parenting, employment, education, self-identification, as well as technology. The good, the bad, the ugly, the humorous, the sad. You get taken on a journey but it's a journey that you all know because you live it every day. This documentary ultimately isn't targeted at the blind or low vision community, it's targeted at the general public. So what we've done is begun entering it into film festivals, and it's been accepted into 7 so far, which is great. And we won Best Documentary at the Impact Film Festival, which is excellent, and thank you very much. The feedback has been really encouraging, and we did a screening of it last night here. We did a screening of it after the Helen Keller Achievement Awards, and Stevie Wonder even showed up and helped to introduce it, and then sat and watched it with us, which was pretty cool. Sat right next to Rebecca. So, you know, what we're seeking here is to have this documentary make an impact and help educate the general public on the capabilities as well as some of the pain points that we experience with the sighted public. We know way more about the sighted community than the sighted community knows about us, right? And that's pretty self-evident when you walk out the door. But you know, this is not a preachy documentary. It's just to lay it all out there, and so it's our hope and expectation that in the coming months there is a plan to have this reside on a streaming service, as well as to develop curriculum around it to get into the educational system in this country. So that's where we're headed with that, and that shared national narrative piece, that third piece of our strategic plan. This is really the core of it, the crown jewel of it for the next 2 to 3 years at least, because so much of it is evergreen. So a lot has been going on. A lot of very hard work and momentum is being created inside AFB to re-engage in areas where we maybe had gone somewhat silent over the past few years. And it means a lot that, over 100 people showed up to our breakfast this morning that sold out. And to have, a really good showing last night for the documentary, it's great. And we look forward to continuing to work with ACB. I was reminded, this spring as we saw those great final regs come out from the Department of Justice with regard to Title II of the ADA. Yeah. AFB's own research was cited as rationale for making some of the decisions that DOJ made. And that's powerful stuff. It's powerful when we can put together research and share it with consumer groups like you all, with the federal government and corporate America to be able to help affect change and not just have something be an anecdote, right? But to actually have an informed take on an issue. So this is what we're going to be working on. I would invite you all to visit afb.org. There's a lot of great content that's on there that has been refreshed here very recently. And I want to thank you for having us, and thank you, Team AFB, for hanging in there and listening this morning and witnessing democracy. It's pretty cool. And I wish you all a very successful end to your convention. Thank you.
Eric and I are dancing up here. Sorry, Eric and I were kind of dancing up here, figuring getting me back to the microphone. So that's a little audio description. All right, and that segues into our next thing. By the way, the popcorn was good last night, too. As a way to segue to our next presentation, I am up here, a white male in his upper 50s, with about 6'3" tall, with brown hair, brown eyes. I'm not going to say my weight. A light colored shirt and dark slacks is what so that's my audio description, and that segues us to one of the great projects within ACB and a group that does tremendous work. And to talk to us about the awards that they would like to present this morning, it gives me great pleasure to introduce the woman who was the first female president of the American Council of the Blind, Kim Charlson.
Goodness, yes. Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm certainly glad that Deb's at the helm and not me right now. I can tell you, I remember those days, and I think they've gotten a lot more complicated since I was president. So, but it's a pleasure to be here as the co-chair of the Audio Description Project for the American Council of the Blind, along not with my fellow co-chair, Carl Richardson, is back in Boston completing his training with a new guide dog. So I'm very happy for him. I wish he was here. But Audio Description Project works hard for ACB. There are so many people involved in making the work happen that we are doing. I want to particularly shout out to Tabitha Kenlon, the Audio Description Coordinator. We keep her very busy. And the numerous committees, subcommittees that work under the Audio Description Project. We have a media committee chaired by Carl Richardson. We have a performing arts chaired by Sheila Young. We have a 508 committee chaired by Pat Sheehan. We have awards chaired by Jeff Tom that you're going to hear about very soon. And our Beatty Committee, Benefits of Audio Description and Education Committee. Now, I hope I didn't miss any. The Steering Committee, that's the whole glue that holds our whole audio description project together. Our other contractors, Fred Brack, the webmaster, Timothy Wynn, our television listings coordinator. So the website for ADP, adp.acb.org, is the go-to place for audio description, and we're in the process of redesigning the Audio Description Project website to make it even better. I hope it'll be launched sometime this fall, so stay tuned for more details. But the title index that's there is the go-to place. I have to tell you a quick story from Amazon the other day. At our virtual session, they said, someone asked a question. How do you find out what titles have audio description on Prime Video? And they said, you go to adp.acb.org and use the title index, and you'll find out what we have. So even Amazon Video uses the ADP website. It is truly the go-to place on audio description. So this morning, it's my pleasure to introduce our awards video. That you're going to see the hard work of the awards committee, and we're going to recognize some truly committed, dedicated people to the whole field of audio description and making media accessible for those of us who are blind or have low vision. So with that, I'll be back after the video to say just a few more words and share a couple special things. And let's see the awards video for 2024.
Against a glittery background, the letters ACB. Below each letter is its corresponding Braille cell. ACB presents 2024 Audio Description Project Achievement Awards in Audio Description. Jeff Tom, ADP Awards Committee Chair.
Welcome to the 2024 Audio Description Awards, brought to you by the Audio Description Project, ADP, an initiative of the American Council of the Blind. I'm Jeff Tom, Chair of the ADP Awards Committee. These awards honor the people and organizations that make outstanding contributions to the quality and availability of audio description. Today, we'll be announcing the recipients of awards for achievement in performing arts, media, the public sector, and research and development. To present these awards, I'm joined by the co-chairs of the Audio Description Project, Kim Charlson and Carl Richardson. Here's Kim to present the first award.
Achievement in Audio Description Media Individual, Kim Charlson, ADP Steering Committee Co-Chair.
Thank you, Jeff. We'll start with the media category. The Audio Description Awards Committee recognizes JW, Jehovah's Witnesses, for initiating and sustaining an audio description program over the last 4 years. Staff and volunteers work with members of the blindness community throughout the audio description creation process, and the work doesn't end when the videos are released. Surveys and additional conversations with the end users ensure a consistent level of quality. Audio description is available in more than 100 different languages. Here to accept the award on behalf of JW is Jonathan Betancourt.
Jonathan Bethencourt, Jehovah's Witnesses.
On behalf of Jehovah's Witnesses, I would like to extend our gratitude to the American Council of the Blind for recognizing the organization's contributions to the quality, availability, and understanding of audio descriptions. We applaud the work of ACB in promoting this important technology and for providing educational resources to improve these efforts. As a faith-based global educational organization, Jehovah's Witnesses are constantly looking for new ways to promote Bible education to meet the diverse spiritual needs of all people. This is evident by the fact that our website is translated into 1,090 languages, a figure that grows nearly every month. As our educational materials progressively shift toward visual mediums like videos, we are determined not to leave anyone behind. That is why audio descriptions were introduced at our 2020 global conventions held during the pandemic, the first convention in our history to be released only on our website in video form. We began producing audio descriptions for audios shown at our annual conventions in English and Spanish. But up to now, we are preparing videos with audio description in around 100 languages. This incredible work involves some 300 translators working with 100 teams around the world. Thank you once again for acknowledging our work in this field. We deeply appreciate the honor.
Achievement in Audio Description Performing Arts Organization. Carl Richardson, ADP Steering Committee Co-Chair.
Hi, my name is Carl Richardson, and I am the co-chair of the Audio Description Project for the American Council of the Blind, and it is my honor to award those who have done excellent work in the field of audio description for the Audio Description Project Award. We are moving on from the small screen to live theater and recognizing an organization who has done excellent work in the field of the performing arts. The award goes to the Audio Description Learning Network, ADLN, which is actually comprised of 4 organizations in the Philadelphia area. They are 1812 Productions, People's Light, Hedgerow, and the Wilma Theater. The organization ADLN was started in 2023 with a grant from the Pennsylvania Council on the Arts in order to broaden and diversify the pool of audio describers in the Philadelphia area to reflect the diverse, ever-increasing diversity in the Philadelphia stages, particularly that of the LGBTQ plus community and the BIPOC community. During the training process, the describers are paired with members of the blind community so that they can get immediate feedback and interact with their future patrons that they will be working with to create an ever more enjoyable experience along with better audio description. Today, to accept the award on behalf of the ADLN, we have Lee Jackson, Leanne Etzold, Marty Bermuzzi, and Tyler Melthier. Congratulations, folks. I couldn't be prouder.
Thank you, Carl. I am Lee Jackson, one of 4 members of the Audio Description Learning Network. We are thrilled to accept the ADP Award for Live Theater and want to thank the American Council of the Blind for this honor. We also want to thank the Pennsylvania Council on the Arts. Their support allowed us to train 4 new audio describers through a paid fellowship and to establish a learning network for our findings. We designed this program in response to dozens of audience members, service providers, and theaters who participated in our listening sessions. They are an important part of our network, and we want to thank them as well.
Hi, I'm Tyler Melchior. We share this award with audio description trainers and mentors Nicole Sardella, Wimoto Naoka, Jahan Thomas, and Mimi Kenny Smith. Their patience and generosity set our fellows up for success. This award also belongs to the ADLN coaches Simon Bonenfant, Natanya Sortland, and Charmaine Parrish, who provided invaluable feedback and encouragement as creatives and audiences who use audio description.
Hi, I'm Marcy Bermusi. Our training programs would not have been successful without Productions to Describe. We are grateful to 1812 Productions, Hedgerow Theater, People's Light, and Wilma Theater for inviting us to describe their professional productions for practice. We thank the staff, artists, volunteers, and stakeholders who learned alongside us and continue to increase accessibility at their organizations and venues.
Hi, I'm Lee Etzold, and we would finally like to thank the 4 new audio describers, Felicia Teeter, Joe Barsanti, Beth Feldman-Brandt, and Gina Pisasel. They dove into this difficult work with dedication and curiosity. Please hire them. You can connect with them and discover what the ADLN learned on our website, helloartscollective.com/ADLN. And thank you, Tabitha Kenlin from the ADP, for encouraging us and celebrating the other awardees. We are honored to be in such great company. On behalf of all of us, thank you.
Thank you. Achievement in Audio Description, Performing Arts, Individual, Kim Charlson.
Let's stay in the theater a little longer. The Performing Arts Individual Award goes to Beth Crabb. Beth has been a member of the audio description team at the Tennessee Performing Arts Center in Nashville since its inception in 2004. She prepares meticulously for each performance she describes, documenting the music, costumes, set design, and cast of characters. Beth adds a personal touch to each performance by meeting with patrons after the show to get feedback and answer questions. A true ACB ally, Beth is a member of the Mid-Tennessee Council of the Blind. Beth, thank you for all you do and congratulations.
Beth Crabb, Audio Describer.
Thank you so much. I am honored to receive this award from the Audio Description Project. First, I thank God. To get the opportunity to talk about the spectacular magic that is live theater and share that with blind and low vision patrons in such a direct and personal way is a privilege and a gift that I do not take for granted. My journey began when the Tennessee Performing Arts Center in Nashville, I'll call it TPAC going forward, began its audio description program. And for that, I must thank Dan Dillon and the late Brenda Dillon, who approached TPAC staff about starting the service there after they experienced audio description at the Kennedy Center. They advocated with TPAC and gave generously to help start the program. I think it's safe to say that I might not be in a position to receive this great honor today if not for their enthusiasm, persistence, encouragement, and determination to make a positive difference in the lives of others. Thanks go also to Lori Ward, former TPAC Vice President of Communications and Community Relations, who developed and guided this program so devotedly and so proudly for many years. I encourage everyone listening that if there's not an AD program in your area and you want one, then take the initiative and start the dialogue. I would like also to thank all of TPAC's AD patrons whose zest for life, feedback, support, and encouragement inspire me to continue learning. Emily Rich, TPAC Guest Services Manager. Julia Cawthon and Mona Bars, my fellow audio describers, marvelous ladies and all of us there from day one. And Rebecca Nichols, former Senior House Manager, and Melissa Brett, former Community Relations Manager, who also helped to start and to grow this program. To all of these, to everyone at TPAC, and to the American Council of the Blind, I am deeply grateful. Thank you.
Special achievement in the performing arts. Carl Richardson.
This year was an excellent year in the field of performing arts for audio description, as we had many worthy contenders to choose from. One of them was Think Outside the Box, which tonight we are here to recognize them for special achievement in the field of audio description in their work in creating cultural competency in the field of audio description. They have worked to revolutionize audio description in the field of accessibility, diversity, and cultural competency by working with many groups, which include the BIPOC community, the Asian American community, the Pacific Islander community, the LGBTQ community, and people with disabilities. When working with these communities and describers, they pair them with blind experts and consultants in workshops to give them best practices on audio description and how to do it from a culturally competent perspective, which creates a better show for all to enjoy in the field of performing arts. They are also doing this in the field of museums as well. They are based in the Boston area, and here to accept the award for Think Outside the Box are Samantha Gould and Christopher Robinson. Guys, I know you both, and I know the hard work you guys are doing. I couldn't be prouder. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Christopher Robinson, African-American male, seasonally bearded, black baseball cap with a multicolored heart on the top, wearing a purple shirt with the letters VOX across the front, representing Vox. As I said, I'm Christopher and Sam of Think Outside the Vox. We're on a mission to consume and create access in culturally competent, disability-centered ways to align with the emancipation type representation that we're seeing in the arts now. It's a vibrant BIPOC AAPI queer-filled story space out there in film and television, but not everyone can have access to that intentionality of diversity. What are we going to do about it? Sam?
Yeah, Sam Gold speaking. I'm an Ashkenazi Jewish white woman with salt and pepper hair, also wearing my purple Vox shirt. In the field of AD, there's a lack of quantity and quality and cultural competency, and this isn't a problem that's unique to AD. It's a global problem. What we hear from patrons all over is that there's not enough description and it doesn't match the art. It's often sanitized or misdescribed by sighted describers who are uncomfortable with materials or that don't have the life experience on the diverse themes. So we wanted to increase the number of AD offerings in our region, but we wanted to do it in a way that was culturally competent and increase the quality as well to match the tone of much of the impactful art that was being produced.
So we want to reframe this model to include a blind describer on our teams in accordance with what we see with directors of artistic sign language with American Sign Language interpreting teams.
And we teamed up with AD experts Thomas Reed and Cheryl Green to develop materials. And then we recruited candidates from the BIPOC AAPI local actor community, Boston Black Writers Association, Asian American Playwrights Association, along with blind and low vision patrons. And we ran workshops to train new describers, and then we proceeded to find mentorship opportunities for them in AD and to onboard them to local arts institutions while educating those institutions on the importance of AD access and cultural competency.
So since 2022, when we started this project, over 15 deaf, blind, disabled, BIPOC, AAPI, and queer describers have been describing works in theaters and museums across New England and New York, and there's even sought nationally.
And we thank the ADP Awards Committee, and we're honored to accept this 2024 Performing Arts Award on behalf of the work of Vox, our inaugural AD training cohort, and the legacy of persons like Thomas Reed, Cheryl Green, and Nefertiti Mata Salaveras. Thank you.
Thank you.
Christopher waves both hands and grins. Audio Description Project Public Sector Award. Kim Charlson.
Audio description is often associated with entertainment, but it's vital for educational uses as well. The award for achievement in the public sector goes to the National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism, NIAA, part of the National Institutes of Health. NIAA developed Alcohol and Your Brain, a module that educates young audiences about alcohol's effects on the brain. The version with audio description and captions will be included in the National Institute Health Section 508 accessibility training to demonstrate effective audio description and captioning. As of April, the audio described version has been viewed 3,400 times on YouTube. Here to accept the award is Dr. George Koob.
George Koob, NIAAA.
Hello, I'm George Koob. I'm the director of the National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism, which is part of the National Institutes of Health. On behalf of my colleagues at NIAAA, thank you. We are honored that you selected our Alcohol and Your Brain virtual reality experience to receive this year's Public Sector Audio Description Project Award. For many years, we've worked hard to make our evidence-based health information accessible to many audiences. In recent years, this has involved moving many of our print resources to electronic, digital, and multimedia formats. In the virtual reality project, our communications team took this effort one step forward. We developed Alcohol and Your Brain as an innovative way to reach young people, as well as adults who work with youth. Using a dynamic ride on the roller coaster model, we explain how alcohol affects different regions of the brain. Happily, our feedback confirms that this is a helpful new resource that is both fun and educational. And so again, thank you sincerely for this award. We are most grateful to you for your decades-long effort to bring issues impacting blind and low vision communities to the forefront of our national consciousness. Thank you again. We're very honored.
Margaret Fansteel Award for Research and Development, Carl Richardson.
Our final award, the Margaret Fansteel Award for Audio Description and Research and Development, goes to Kyle Fisk of the Described Caption Media Program, DCMP. Kyle, as the Chief Technology Officer, has overseen a number of technological advancements in the field of audio description. One, he has made sure that all the platforms and technology that DCMP provides audio description is fully accessible to all. He also has created a process to ensure the full accuracy of audio description scripts when recording and editing. And lastly but not least, and my favorite, he has come up with an interactive process to ensure that deaf, blind, and blind people can access the script of audio description and closed captioning using a screen reader or braille display. Kyle, congratulations on a well-deserved award, and I look forward to reading some of the audio description transcripts on my braille display. Thank you.
Kyle Sisk, Described and Captioned Media Program.
Thank you so much. I would like to thank the Audio Description Project, the American Council of the Blind, and the late Dr. Margaret Fansteel, whose innovation paved the way for many advancements in audio description. On a daily basis, I have the privilege of working alongside a team of innovators who care deeply about access and equity. DCMP's entire team contributes across disciplines, and it's one of the perks of being a small team. But I'd like to call out our staff software engineers, Rob Flynn and David Prater, who have been instrumental in the development of accessibility features that push the limits of available technology. Some of these features include player-based captioning, audio description, and language switching on dcmp.org, long before standards existed to do so. Interactive transcript that includes both captions and audio description. Our users can enable those tracks as they need, search and click the text to navigate through the video, and download those scripts for use with refreshable braille displays. Media browsing and cross-discovery by state and national standards. All 18,000 videos in the collection are aligned to standards, and it's helped drastically in discovery. Player-based American Sign Language, which allows users to set the size and location of the ASL interpreter. And most recently, AI scene description, a feature that complements traditional audio description and enables users to pause a video and hear an AI-generated description of the scene. Using our human-created metadata and dynamic prompt engineering, it's much more accurate than we ever could have imagined. While it's not perfect, this beta feature sets an example of the responsible use of AI to mitigate an intractable problem. While we're proud of these features on their own, the scale at which these innovations are implemented is the most incredible part. DCMP has over 18,000 videos and serves hundreds of thousands of children annually. Thank you again. It's an honor for myself and our entire team.
Jeff Tom.
We have one more award to tell you about. It's an essay contest for young people entitled The Benefits of Audio Description in Education. Here's Susan Glass with all the details.
Susan Glass, Beatty Chairperson.
Hello, ACB. My name is Susan Glass, and since 2013, it's been my honor and privilege to chair ACB's Audio Description Project, Benefits of Audio Description in Education, Beatty Subcommittee. Each year, ACB ADP and our partner, the Described and Captioned Media Program, DCMP, co-sponsor the Beatty Contest, in which blind and visually impaired young people ages 7 to 21 watch an audio-described film of their choosing and then write a 300-word evaluation of the film's audio description. They share specific ways in which the audio description enhanced or detracted from their experience with the film. Members of the Beatty Committee read all contest entries and then choose first, second, and third place winners in 4 student age categories. The grand prize winner receives an iPad mini and an invitation to read their essay at either ACB's legislative mid-year meeting or the National Conference and Convention. This year's grand prize winner is Lila Duffy, who lives in Tacoma, Washington. She reviewed the DCMP video, I Am Ruby Bridges. She impressed the Beatty judges with her attention to 3 key criteria that she thinks about when she watches described videos: description detail, description quality, and description timing. The tone of her review is personal and engaging. Congratulations, Lila, and congratulations also to your TVI, Erica Lund. And now I am pleased to introduce you to Lila and Erica.
Erica Lund, teacher.
Hi there, my name is Erica Lund. I am a teacher of blind and low vision learners. I am from Tacoma, Washington, and I would like to introduce one of my fantastic students, Lila Duffy. She just recently won the Beatty essay contest, and it's been a real pleasure getting to work with her this year. She went to the Washington State School for the Blind and just has some really amazing skills that she brought with her to Keithley Middle School this year. So I've had the pleasure of helping her, working with her, and getting to read all of the amazing things that she's written over the course of the year, including the Beatty essay that she had a chance to submit. So yeah, I would just like to introduce you to my student, Lila Duffy.
Lila Duffy, Beatty winner.
Hi, I'm Lila Eileen Queen Duffy, and today I'm here to talk about me. Okay, well, not just me. Every blind person in this world. I'm here today to make it clear to the world that for blind people to be able to watch movies, the audio description has to be top tier. When faced with the difficult challenge of judging how good audio description is, I look at 3 things in particular: detail, quality, and timing. But before I explain how you did on these 3 things, I'd like to say that for people with visual impairments like me, shouldn't have to miss out on watching a certain film just because of the lack of audio description. No matter what. In the video, I Am Ruby Bridges, I think that the audio description was lacking in detail. While I do get that it can be hard because of interference with the narrator, I really think there should have been more effort in the detail department. When it comes to quality, you did an acceptable job. While I do think that there are some places you need to work on improving, overall, I've definitely heard worse. I did notice that every time the audio description came on, the music seemed to be paused. In my personal opinion, you should still be able to hear the music when the audio description comes on. Therefore, I have come to the conclusion that the quality of the audio description was pretty good with room for improvement. Lastly, I'd like to take a moment to talk a little bit about timing. When it comes to timing, I think that the timing was fine, although, like quality, it has room to improve. A suggestion I could give is maybe try saying what is happening a little bit before it does. That way you can give a more thorough description. Overall, the audio description for your video, I Am Ruby Bridges, was pretty well coordinated. Although there are things you should work on improving. I was actually able to watch the video. Being a young girl with a visual disability, it's hard picking out movies to watch with my family. So I love people like you who are willing to take constructive criticism and listen, and who are also willing to make a difference in the world of media.
Jeff Tom.
Thank you, Lila, for that great essay, and thanks to all of our ADP Award recipients for everything they're doing to make the world more accessible and inclusive. Congratulations again, and as we like to say at ACB, keep advocating.
A logo, ACB in print and braille, American Council of the Blind, together for a bright future.
Well, I'm a little nervous. I think the next co-chair of the ADP might be Lila. She was something. What a great crew of award recipients. Let's give them all a round of applause because they were quite special. So I want to actually take this opportunity. There are two of our winners who are here today. They came to ACB, and I'd like to recognize them for just a moment to speak to you and say a little bit about what the award means to them in person, and we can acknowledge their award. First, I'm going to ask Janet Parmenter from Loganville, Georgia, to step forward. She is very active and very involved in the development and the success of the JW Audio Description Program. Janet, congratulations.
Well, thank you so much, Kim. I will say, in 1914, Charles Taze Russell did the first audio-described talkie movie called Photodrama of Creation. That was done by Jehovah's Witnesses. And then in 1912, they did Braille because they feel blind people should be not excluded, but included in learning about our Creator and the things He created. So if you go to booth number 79, you'll learn about eagles, goats and whales and all kinds of beautiful creation with gorgeous audio description that I'm so proud Jehovah's Witnesses have started doing. So please go to booth 79. Kim,
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. And also with us, I'm pleased to call to the mic Dan Dillon from Tennessee and Beth Crabb from the Tennessee Performing Arts Center.
Thank you, Kim. And I just wanted to say that, as Kim said, Beth Crabb is here. She wants to say a few words to you. And you listened to the video, and you heard about all of Beth Crabb's accomplishments at the Tennessee Performing Arts Center as a narrator, audio description. And we've had this program for around 20 years. It's been wonderful. And I would like all of you to give Beth Crabb a wonderful ACB welcome. All right.
Well, thank you. Bless you, Dan. I am here just as a member, so this, I did not expect to be up here, but I'll just take the opportunity again to say thank you so much to the Audio Description Project and the American Council of the Blind, and just to reiterate to all of you, wherever you may be, either watching online, here in person, or on YouTube later, be your own advocate. If you like theater and there's not an audio description program in your area, do what Dan and Brenda did. Ask. If the person you ask doesn't know, ask them to ask. Just keep asking until you get to someone who can give an answer. Be your own advocate. Thank you so much.
I'll turn it. Thank you again to all of you for supporting the Audio Description Project, and I look forward to being back next year to present a whole new crew of award recipients doing tremendous work in the field of audio description. Thank you. All right, Ray, thanks.
You're welcome. What great award winners, and Lila, boy, she's got a future as a film critic, I think. So, and I can tell you that just on a personal note, that we are starting to do some work in the Springfield area on audio description, because why should Chicago get to have all the fun? So that's just kind of how we roll. Okay. I'm now going to invite our next two speakers to come forward. We in ACB have a tremendous working relationship with the next organization that you're going to hear from, and we've been able to do a lot of good work with them. It gives me great pleasure to bring to the microphone two gentlemen from the Disability Rights Office of the Federal Communications Commission, Will Schell and Timothy Wynn. Will, Tim?
So here's the microphone, and here's this. I think there's enough space. Welcome. Let me get situated here. Hold on one moment. I get my cane. What do you do with these canes when they're... All right. Well, hello, welcome. Thank you. Not welcome. Thank you, everyone. This is Will Schell. I am the Deputy Chief of the Disability Rights Office of the Federal Communications Commission. Let me get my notes going here. Make sure I don't say anything I'm not supposed to. I'm joined up here with my colleague, Timothy Wynn, who's a telecommunications accessibility specialist also at the FCC. Tim and I are both lifelong members of the blind community, and it's an honor to be here today with the American Council of the Blind at your 2024 convention. We've just a few minutes to tell you everything you need to know about the FCC, and if you don't know about the FCC, hold on to your hat. If you think you know about the FCC, we have some interesting surprises for you. I always want to emphasize that we do not work at the Disability Nice Office. We work at the Disability Rights Office. Access to accessible communication services and equipment is not about doing the right thing. It's a requirement. The law demands that TVs and telephones and the various services associated with them must be accessible. It's not about doing the right thing. It is required under the law. Everyone has the right to access telecommunication services and equipment in a way that is accessible to them. No one should be left behind. That's why at the FCC's Disability Rights Office, we work hard to establish and enforce rules ensuring that you have equal access to communication technology. These rules cover a wide range of devices that you use every day. Telephones, they must be accessible, compatible with screen readers and braille displays. They have to provide you with accessible user manuals if you want such a thing. in an accessible format. The phone company has to be able to tell you how to use the accessibility features on these devices. TVs and other devices that play video programming, these must be accessible. That means that there's a screen reader in your TV. There's a screen reader in your Apple TV. There's a screen reader in your Roku TV, Amazon TV. There's a screen reader in your cable box. I know that a lot of people in the audience know this already, but you have to tell everyone. There's lots of people who don't realize that their cable box has a screen reader built into it. You also need to tell people how to turn on audio description. I know it's complicated. It can be complicated. As you'll hear about in a minute, audio description under our rules continues to expand. Our rules require accessibility for all of these devices. So much accessibility is required that blind people, under our rules, must be able to turn on closed captions. And you might say, Will, why would blind people want to turn on closed captions? And I would answer for 3 reasons. One is you bought the whole TV, and you should have access to the whole TV. The second reason is that my TV is so complicated with things plugged into things that no one would ever be able to figure out how to do it. So I have to be able to do it. And third reason, no one is allowed to touch my remote control ever. So I'm the only one. By the way, we have new rules coming out regarding closed caption quality. If that's of interest to you, you should reach out to our website. Internet communication, also, this is the modern world, the modern communication world. There are all sorts of new and wild things happening on the internet. Like what, Will? What has to be accessible under your rules? Well, text messaging has to be accessible. Email, under our rules, has to be accessible. Instant messaging, under our rules, has to be accessible. Internet voice communication services, like an audio conference app, something like Twitter Spaces, that has to be accessible to people who are blind. I should emphasize, all of these communication services have to be accessible to people with disabilities broadly. Talking with your friends on video games, right, where the kids hang out, that has to be accessible. Text chatting on a dating app, that has to be accessible under our rules. You're going to find out how to file complaints if you run into accessibility problems with these text and voice communication services. But these are just a few examples of our rules. I want to mention, before I transition over for Timothy to kind of give us some more info, I want to emphasize that our office also funds and administers the National Deafblind Equipment Distribution Program, which we lovingly call the NDB EDP, and is, I think, commonly called ICANN Connect. It's a fantastic program. We fund about $10 million a year so that people who are deafblind and low income can receive the expensive and complicated equipment that they need and the training that's needed in order to access the telecommunications network, right? This is the whole point of the FCC. Now, we have a bunch of other rules, if you're interested, rules about real-time text for phone calling, the Disability Advisory Committee, which we have Claire and Swatha as members on the FCC's Disability Advisory Committee, where they give us advice about what is important to the disability community. Audio description on TV, which we'll talk about again in just a second. Closed captions on TV and the internet. Emergency information on TV has to be accessible. I've already mentioned that your TV and set-top boxes have to be accessible. All the phones have to be accessible, including with your hearing aids. And we'll be happy to answer any questions you might have. I'm going to mention our phone number and our email, and we'll mention them again. But please call us, 202-418-2517. Email us at dro@fcc.gov. Visit our website, fcc.gov/dro. Right up next to me is Timothy Wynn, who is going to tell you about some of specific rules regarding that ACB members might find interesting and how you can file complaints if you believe something is not accessible.
Good morning, everyone. Before we start, I wanted to let everyone know that I do some activities with ACB's audio description project. But today, for this presentation, I am speaking as an FCC representative. As Will mentioned, my name is Timothy Huynh, and I am a telecommunications accessibility specialist. Ooh, I got that out. What this means is that along with our other members of our consumer engagement team, we sort and serve complaints, we analyze responses that come in, we otherwise interact with consumers through email, voice and video phone calls, and yes, even the occasional letter that comes in the mail. But enough about me and our team. There are 4 areas that we work on which you may be interested. They are audio description on TV, accessible emergency information on TV, accessible TVs and set-top boxes, and telecommunications and advanced communication services, ACS. Let's talk about what's new and what's happening in these areas. First is audio description on TV. You probably know about audio description, given the Audio Description Project's award ceremony that was just prior to our presentation. But for the one person who is embarrassed to ask, audio description is audio narrated descriptions of a television program's key visual elements. These descriptions are inserted into natural pauses in the program's dialogue. By law, the top 4 broadcast networks, that is ABC, CBS, Fox, and NBC, and the top 5 non-broadcast networks, which are HGTV, Hallmark, TLC, TNT, and TBS, are required to provide about 7 hours per week of audio description. In 2023, the FCC adopted rules to expand audio description from just the top 100 markets to all TV markets, increasing 10 per year. Yes, all of them, yeah. Increasing 10 per year until all are covered in 2035, which is a long way off, but you know. However, most will not notice the expansion requirement because broadcast networks are already required to pass through audio description when they get it from the network. So the affiliates are all required to pass it through if they get it. So if your affiliate station or TV provider is not passing through audio description, please file a complaint with our office so that you have equal access to our programming. Next is emergency information on TV. In case you don't know, when there is an emergency, I'm looking at Texas, the information provided during a newscast, including one that interrupts other programming, must be conveyed out loud in the main audio. If emergency information is shown as text on screen, there will be an audible tone in the main audio to let you know to switch to secondary audio. And as Will mentioned, it's a little complicated to do sometimes, but it is accessibility. TV providers must also ensure that any app or plugin they offer for watching TV on devices like tablets or smartphones or laptops can pass through accessible emergency information. Unlike our audio description requirements, accessible emergency information must be available on secondary audio regardless of market ranking. So, if you hear the emergency tone, you switch to secondary audio, you listen for the emergency information and hear nothing. Or if a newscaster describes a storm's trajectory as you can see here, and if you look over there, you should file a complaint with our office. Accessible TVs and set-top boxes. Keep in mind that key features must be audibly accessible on your TVs as of December 16th, 2016. December 20th, 2016, and cable box as of December 20th, 2018, so 2 years difference. These features provided through on-screen text menus or visual indicators must be accessible if it's possible to do so. This includes power on and off, volume adjust, mute, channel selection, display of program information, your TV guide, setup options, closed captioning control and display options, audio description control, current configuration information, playback controls such as play, pause, or record, and input source selection. Given Will was talking about all his connected devices, he needs to be able to do that. If your cable box is not accessible to you, please call your TV provider to request one or contact us to file a complaint. Please also contact us to file a complaint if your TV or video playback device is not accessible to you. Last, telecommunication and advanced communication services. Telecommunication services and equipment must be accessible and usable. Telecommunication services include regular telephone calls, call waiting, speed dialing, call forwarding, computer-provided directory assistance, call monitoring, caller ID, caller tracing, and repeat dialing. And yes, those sounds kind of antiquated, but it is required to be accessible. Also, voicemail and interactive voice response systems that provide callers with menus of choices, press 1 for English, must be accessible. Equipment has to be accessible as well, including devices like a home phone, telephone. Our rules also cover advanced communication services and equipment, ACS, and they include 4 categories. Let's go through this one by one, and I know there's a lot of information, but bear with me. First, interconnected voice over internet protocol service, VoIP, such as home phone service provided over your internet. Second, non-interconnected VoIP service, such as using a computer to engage in voice communication, such as chatting on Discord. Third, electronic messaging services, such as text messaging or email, like Gmail. And last but not least is interoperable video conferencing services like Zoom, Teams, telehealth programs, and FaceTime. All must be accessible, including customer service and billing. Not only that, but customer support should be able to tell you how to use the accessibility features of products and services they offer. These rules can really be used to your advantage. In fact, earlier this week on Monday, the FCC published a finding against a phone provider for not having services that were accessible to a blind person. That company is now required to offer accessible phones, which in this case means the phone has to have tactile buttons and full speech output, which means a screen reader. In addition, customer support is required to troubleshoot issues that people face in order to have accessible service. If you know of someone who has a phone that they cannot use, or if you yourself have such an issue, please contact us to start the complaint process. If all of this information is overwhelming, because it was when I was preparing it, if you want to read about it online, for example, Our website has consumer guides on audio description, accessible emergency information, accessible TVs and set-top boxes, telecommunication and advanced communication services, and more. fcc.gov/DRO is our website, and it gives access infos, which is our mailing list, which provides information for accessibility. And it's not a there's not much emails that go out. There's just emails about accessibility-related issues that you might be interested in. We have consumer guides, we have complaint forms, and we have contact information, and of course, more. You can email us always at dro@fcc.gov, or you can call 202-418-2517. Whether you're filing a complaint or a comment, your advocacy efforts can and do shape FCC rulemakings, orders, public notices, and reports to Congress, which all have a direct impact on the level of access people have to television, telecommunications, and other means by which people send, receive, and consume content. And back to you, Will.
Hey, awesome. Thank you again. Like Tim said, file your complaints, submit your comments, submit comments on our rulemakings, and make your voice heard at the FCC. Do not be nice about it, right? This isn't the Disability Nice Office. If you, remember that joke? All right, thanks, whew, good. If you do not complain or file comments, no one will secure your rights. Even if you don't need them others do. Fight for them, find out from ACB how to best advocate for the issues that you care about. And if they're covered by the FCC, we welcome your advocacy. fcc.gov/DRO is the best place to get started. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you both. Hey, thanks, man. Come on, you bet. All right. Again, don't be nice. Make sure that we secure what we want. I have a reputation for not being nice, and I'm proud of it. All right. Okay, we are just about to the end of our session this morning, and so we're going to allow some time for announcements before you all jump to the microphones. The first person I'm going to recognize for that. And remember, people do need to get to luncheons and other things, so let's kind of, if you have to make an announcement, go ahead. You feel like you do, but let's not overdo it here. So, but the first person I'm going to recognize, if she has any announcements for us today, is our wonderful convention coordinator, Janet Dickelman. And after we do whatever announcements we have, we will do some more door prizes. So hang around. Okay. You're taking it away.
I'm going walking.
She's going walking. Nancy, for a case of audio description, Nancy is taking a mic to Janet. And we're not hearing you, Janet. The mic is...
Who turned? No, there we go.
There she
All right,
is.
thank you. Sorry about that. We just had a little bit of a running dash to go get a microphone. All right, at the Lost and Found, we have a gray patterned hoodie. We have a bag that someone left in the gift shop with some Sudafed and Tylenol and other medications in it. Yeah, Deb says that's for her. We have a black and brown beaded necklace. And we have a pair of sunglasses. And I also want to remind everybody that the Kennedy Space Tour will be leaving Friday morning at 5 a.m. All right, I'm going to pass this over to Deb, who wants to make a few announcements. Yeah, and they have to be there. Yes, so you should be down by the bus by 4:30, 20 to 5 at the latest. Thank you. Hey, it's well worth it.
All right.
Yeah, why go to sleep? Party, dance.
Okay.
So just to know how much better you people who have to get up for the Space Center tour are than I am, I have to be ready for my ride to the airport on Friday, 3:45 a.m. out there. So early. Now, I want to announce how we're going to be doing the elections tomorrow. We do have that worked out, so I want to give you that. And we will follow this up with email, but just so you all are the first to know. So basically, it will work somewhat like it did today, because we will have the affiliate vote in the morning, as we would, as close on to the business as we can. And then following that immediately, we will turn the election. If there is another election to be had, we will move right to that. And, well, there will be, so we will move right to that. And get that done, start that process. And then after we've had any speeches and associated things related to that, the individual voting polls will be open from noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 6 a.m. in Hawaii. Noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And then at 2 p.m., we will reconvene general session in this location. If you are an affiliate delegate, you can report directly to the affiliate delegate room where we've been going. All the rest of you can report in here if you like. You're welcome to listen in your room on Zoom or on the stream. If you are a delegate and you've been here in person, but it's not convenient to come into the room, and you would like to go into the Zoom, we will make sure that that is sent out to all the delegates so everyone would have it. In other words, it doesn't matter which place you do, and it doesn't matter which place you listen. We anticipate it will only take about a half hour because the affiliate voting now is going pretty quickly. And so we will do that, and then that still leaves them time to get everything ready for the banquet. So noon to 2 will be when the voting happens tomorrow, and then 2 o'clock will be when the affiliate vote is collected. Today, we are on our normal schedule. You will vote, individual vote, from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Tomorrow's is only 2 hours. So I hope that works for everyone. And we are making it work up here.
All right.
Thank you, Ray.
Any other announcement?
One more. We have one more announcement here.
Okay, I'm sorry.
One reminder, if you are coming to the banquet, you must have a ticket. No ticket, no banquet entry. You must have your ticket with your food. And if you have not already, go to the information desk and get your table set up.
And they're hiring me as the bouncer, and I'm
Yes,
pretty big.
He is mean. All right. Oh, we're done with this one.
Any other announcements? Any other announcements?
Katie has door prizes.
And we'll get to you in just a minute. Well, you know what? Let's go ahead, and I don't hear anybody else clamoring for the mic, so let's go ahead and take some door prizes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
This is Jeff Bishop, President of Blind Information Technology
sir.
Specialists. Hey, I want to invite everyone, and you do not have to necessarily buy a ticket to come to our mixer this afternoon at 4 o'clock. We're giving away hundreds of dollars and things, but you must be present to win, and you must buy a raffle ticket to be able to get into the drawing. And there will be munchies and a cash bar. So I know Ray Campbell will show up.
Yes.
So
I've
all
already
the
got my
fun
ticket,
starts
sir.
in St. John's room
Hello.
at 4 o'clock. We'll be there till 6 or until everybody leaves. So I hope all of you can come and enjoy a great time with BITS and learn more about us and become part of the family. Thank you, everybody.
All right. Whoa, folks.
Where
is it?
St. John's. Right, Jeff? St. John's. So it's on the 3rd floor. As you go down toward Clearwater, it's before Clearwater, so it's a St. John's room. It was the one we had karaoke under those hot lights the other night.
So
Any other announcements?
One more.
Okay.
One more announcement.
Michael, go ahead, sir.
I just want to encourage all of you who have not purchased your Braille Forum raffle ticket. We are fastly running out, but we still need to sell out. We want to sell out every Braille Forum raffle ticket we have. So get over to registration. Buy your Braille Forum raffle ticket. Help support the Braille Forum for ACB.
Or see Alan Peterson. Okay. Any others? Okay. We're going to go to door prizes, but we're going to end right after door prizes. So before we do that, I just would like to again thank everybody for giving me this opportunity to be up here and preside this morning. I don't take this for granted, and I know it's only given to me because you, the membership, have put me into this position. So I thank you for that. Thank you for giving me a chance to be with you a little while this morning, and wish you all a great rest of the convention and a safe trip home. Thank you, everyone. Here's door prizes.
Door prizes, door prizes. Are you ready? All right, this is Katie from the Convention Host Committee. If you have a winning here, pick it up from Janet. If you are winning virtually, the Minnesota office will send it to you. We would like to take this opportunity to thank all affiliates who have sent in door prizes. Our first prize is going to be virtual. It goes to Robin Hughes. Robin won a $100 Visa card, and the ACB Missouri Council donated this. The next one is going to be someone that's here in person, Joan Lab. Joan won $25 cash from FCB, and she also won a Carrie Bishop $10 gift card.
Right.
And our last prize goes to Jonathan Thomas, who is here. He won $50 from Washington Council of the Blind and a $10 gift card from Carrie Bishop. And that's it, guys.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
I will do one more thing. I would be remiss if I did not thank all the people behind the scenes that are keeping us going here this morning. Thank all of you for listening on Zoom and on ACB Media. And thank you to our support team there, Chanel Allen, who has been handling Zoom. And hey, Chanel, I'm not sure who's streaming this morning, but whoever that is, thank Larry Gassman, thank you for streaming this morning, and to our awesome audiovisual team here and all throughout that's been keeping us going. So thanks to our great support team. We are now in recess till tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. Thanks, everyone.
A logo, ACB in print and braille, American Council of the Blind, together for a bright future.